entities or names or characters from other games to potentially have some of that cross-reference that people can kind of get pulled over from other games and kind of help each other out in that regard.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's definitely a lot there.
So sticking with like an initial price point and then go from there and cross-promotion. Justin?
I like the idea of sticking with an initial price point as well, like or appropriately pricing your game in the first place. There are so many developers, like there are games that I've seen that are on sale all the time, and that the price might as well just be the sale price. So I think that taking a hard look at your game and seeing where it fits into the current ecosystem, and then appropriately pricing your game in the first place, and then trying to stay competitive with other games. I think it's okay to be reactive in this scenario, and as opposed to proactive and just say, "Oh, we're going to drop the price down." You don't want to devalue your game. You don't want to piss off your current fan base that have paid $30 for a game that just went on sale for $10. So I think I think sticking with a price and then being reactive.
All right, so price, being reactive, and probably not being too extreme in being reactive.
Yeah.
Because we also don't want to set off any other fans that just
you want
dropped.
to pace yourself.
Yeah. All right, perfect. And Mustapha, what do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with a lot of what's said, and I would add to that, be patient. I think if you really design and develop with passion at the center of what you've done, you have to have done that for a reason. It has to, on some level, appeal to someone. So don't show your hand too early. Wait, see how people perceive it, see what changes you can make before you go about any type of discounting. And then after that, sure, go for it.
Okay. No, that all sounds great. I mean, I really don't have anything else to add to that, because I think we're pretty much in agreement in terms of, set what you think is an appropriate price point, and then go from there. And then there's different ways to obviously react to what you've been seeing from the community and everything else about how sales are going and stuff, and then appropriately discount the game, and having some variable time frames in which that happens is probably my only other thing that I would recommend. So that way, Steam does a fairly decent job because they have the Steam sales and stuff going on like that. But and even if it's let's say a small amount for a quick window, so then you maybe this is maybe a little bit more granular strategy, but maybe you can really get in front of people if you have a good method of getting in front of people and have a decent enough presence. Creating that reactiveness out of people too. So if you did hey, 15% just for this weekend right now, and you have a means of doing that, because I know Steam is pretty particular about when you can throw discounts on and stuff, that could be another strategy. But overall, I would say, like you guys have been saying, pace yourself and keep it from there.
Yeah, I think you're right about you want to trigger that reactiveness from consumers, where you want to drop the price down enough that they will pull the trigger immediately. Some games, 20% off. For instance, that Spider-Man game. This isn't an indie game, but Spider-Man just came out, and it's already dropped down to $40 for, I don't know the period of time, but I saw it on Amazon for $40, and I thought, wow, that is a fantastic deal for what is a AAA game. I pulled the trigger on that right away.
Yeah, nice. All right, well, I think this pretty much covers it. That's kind of our take on the whole discounts of games and stuff. And, when it comes time to whether it's a holiday or a Steam summer sale or anything like that, just, really be mindful in terms of, what's your approach with it? What are you really trying to do? I mean, yes, everybody wants to sell more copies and stuff, but I think what we kind of all agreed with here is just simply, pace yourself. If you're out of the gate, just see what you can get out of it, and then just use that information to kind of steer yourself in whatever direction that data is showing you. I mean, I think that's pretty fair assumption, what we're all saying here, right?
Yeah. I mean, the other thing I like to maybe throw in there too is, if you have an update coming out with a game or a patch, whatever it may be, why not throw on a discount and try to play it out all at the same time? Throw them at the same time. So if you have an update coming out, why not throw a small discount out there too? People are going to get hyped up about the update, but then they can get it all at a cheaper price too. So you can double whammy right there.
Yeah,
I think you just have to take an honest look about what you've made and where that sits in with the rest of the ecosystem.
Yep.
All right, cool. Mustapha, anything else you want to add?
No, I think it's all been beautifully said. I think we definitely got a pretty good grasp on it.
All right, awesome. Well, guys, thanks again for hopping on and doing this. This is great. We'll just see how everybody else feels about this, and maybe we could do a few of these a couple more times down the year. But really appreciate your time, and guys, just take it easy and have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Later.
All right, bye. Hey, everybody, and thanks again for listening to Indie Game Movement, the podcast that talks about the marketing and business of indie games. Hey, if you want to check out the show notes for this episode, feel free to do so by going to indiegamemovement.com. And I just want to thank our podcast producer, Mustapha Price, and give a special thanks to Taisuke Kimura, who composed the theme, and Donnie Wilson for the logo design. Just really appreciate your help and hard work, guys. If you have any questions or suggestions for the podcast, feel free to email us at igm@rengenmarketing.com. Rengen Marketing is a company that I co-founded that provides consulting services to indie devs. And on our website, we also provide really helpful, in-depth content on our blog. And we also have a free marketing plan template that you guys can use for your next game. So thanks again for listening right here on Indie Game Movement.